Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Tuesday edition. The Eagles are letting go of cornerbacks left and right. There may be interest in James Bradbury edition. Do you have any interest in Sam Darnold? What are the Vikings going to do? I'm very curious about that after seeing that story yesterday, that he would not get the franchise tag edition. And the Evan Cohen joins us. He can give us all kinds of insight into the national perspective on various NFL moves edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter. Uh-oh.
No Twitter.
Oh, wait, yeah,
Huh?
yeah, we do it. Wait, sorry. False alarm.
Twitter.
That's 2 days in a row.
Jesse has a
he's done
great
that.
day yesterday, and you could tell he's letting off the gas.
Facebook? Wait, and YouTube? So we have all three up and running.
We are up and running on all three platforms.
Then why'd you hit the buzzer?
Because Facebook I haven't started yet. It's a little complicated how I have to get that. I'm still figuring that all out right now, so we'll be up there in a moment.
Okay. And Facebook and Twitter and everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. The aforementioned Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I think we may have to. I lifted the ban on Old Girl. I think we're going to re-implement the ban.
Oh, no. We're
Yeah.
not. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I love Old Girl. I try to side with her whenever I can, not just because I'm afraid of her. But what happened now that there is another potential oven ban? You're like, you love to push the envelope. I'm very curious to hear what happened that you're even considering
What
this.
envelope am I what envelope am I pushing?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say the divorce envelope, but definitely the incur the wrath of your better half envelope.
No, it's called
Publicly, I
open
might
communication. No, it's called open communication. I
And
think
then
that's,
sharing it with our audience. So that's great. Yeah.
Listen, Matt, you can't do a show. There's certain things, obviously, you don't talk about. Very few things.
like
you
what?
have to. Hey, if you're going to do a show, and you're going to do 15 hours a week for 10 years, you have found a way to not do it for the most part, which sometimes irritates me. But you have to open up. You got to let people in. You do.
I know, but you're
obviously
you're
if there's
publicly pointing out her failures.
I also compliment her quite a bit. She runs the roost. There's no doubt about it. We've had issues. Our house is getting to be 6-7 years old now. There's stuff. It seems like stuff is like blipping up, and she is the handler. She handles all this stuff. We got a great event up in Green Bay coming up that she did everything on. She's run it. Ooh. She's done a great job with the pickler. She has been on it. So trust me, the attaboys outweigh all the other stuff.
Okay, not public.
But
though.
I don't know if it's just she juggles a lot of stuff. She's got a lot of stuff going on. And she just, for whatever reason, struggles to either recognize that something's burning or it's too hot. And I won't put any pictures up. I have pictures. I'm not going to post them.
Wait, of like flames in the kitchen?
Of food that is so. We had
crispy?
People over, and I let this one go. We had people over probably 10 days ago, and there was a wheel that was just charred over the top, like just total Char City, USA. All right, that happens. We're playing euchre, having a good time. I get it. So that happens. But I'm sitting, and I walk out to my Chevy Tahoe, and there is a tortilla that I don't know what she was doing. It was crisp on crisp, black on black, and it happened twice. So the second time around, I said, all right, we're banning. I'm giving her another 2-week ban. No more cooking, no more oven, no more stove top. She needs another break. So she is on a 2-week break.
Wait, what did going out to your Tahoe have to do with the story? Was I not listening carefully?
Because I smelled smoke, I smelled stuff, and what I've noticed that Sarah likes to do now, she will crisp a cookie tray like nobody's business, and then she'll shove it out on the deck and put it in a snowbank and let it sit. This, for whatever reason, obviously there's no snow left. Now there is a crispy, I'm talking crisp on crisp tortilla shell, and I think she just wanted to get it out the house so the smoke alarm would go off. And it was sitting out there, and it was still pretty piping hot sitting there. So there's three incidents in the last, let's call it 20 days. So the ban has been put back in place.
Refresh our listeners and my memory. What do you do when you institute I am banning my wife from using the oven and stovetop policy?
It's actually, I know you really hate Butker, right? Because he said some stuff. This is an anti-Butker deal. This is an anti-Butker.
You don't want her in the kitchen.
It's the oppo. It's the exact opposite. Yes.
No, but like, how do you manage meals when you make a command executive decision like this? This is like an executive order from President Tausch in the House. Yeah,
Max is also a chef, so we have taken over. There will be no more 2 weeks. So that puts us today's the 4th. That puts us 18th. Yeah, no, she's back. The 19th, she is back. And better than ever. She can go back and do her thing. But another 2 weeks.
Better than ever. I don't know about that. So I guess my question now is, what's on the menu for the next 14 days? And what happens if you and or Max, despite your culinary talents, have an incident? Does she get to come back on you and get after you if you set off the smoke alarm?
Well, if it's 3 times, yeah. It's the old once, twice, 3 times a lady. You get 1.
3 strikes, you're out.
You go to Quick Trip. Obviously, Quick Trip is going to be a big factor in what we're doing.
Well, then you're not doing the cooking then.
But I am. Okay, let me rephrase. I will be a meal provider.
You'll be managing the meals.
I will be a meal provider.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Hey. How does Sarah?
In all honesty, it's good. It takes a little bit of a load off of Sarah. It's another plate that she doesn't have to handle, and I think everybody ends up winning in this whole deal.
Is there any downside to this? Have you considered possible downsides? Like, what if she just quits?
Oh, you think she's going to resign? It's a risk. I mean, you're
putting
it
her
is a
business
risk.
out on
It
the
happens.
streets. This is the second time you've suspended her from her own kitchen.
She had a good run, though. She had a really good run for, 6 to 8 months. She was fantastic. Nothing burning, nothing big. It was all good. So,
don't you
6
feel
weeks.
like this penalty might be a bit steep then, given the recent run of success? Like,
here's what you guys don't understand.
if the
I don't
Brewers
blame
missed the playoffs this year, they still made the playoffs like 6 out of 7 years. Like, it's still a pretty good run. They can get back at it next year. It's not like let's burn the whole thing down, pun intended, and start over. Like, you can just bounce back the next year. Like, just give her a bounce back opportunity.
Well, Jesse, he gave us here's what you don't understand, so definitely listen.
Well, yeah, but now, of course, my train of thought is this is actually, I think, doing her a favor.
Oh, no.
No, I do. It's less because I'll be the first to admit that I probably give her added responsibilities that I think it'd probably be better suited for me to help. I'm just being honest with you guys.
Yeah, thank you for your honesty.
In
It's
essence,
a good assessment.
This ban is a positive for everybody.
IT departments,
Sarah now
scheduler,
takes a break. She just
calendar,
she takes
Washington.
She gets more time. She can go over and go to a wine club or go to whatever else. They got this. They have a cooking club. This will be the one part that's tricky. They do
It's
this.
not
and I
your
think it's
oven.
just
Apparently, she's fine.
it will have to be a cold dish that she takes to any of her cooking clubs. So any of her cooking, and maybe I think the timeline, it won't interfere. If it does, there's plenty of cucumber salads. There's gazpacho. There's all kinds of different cold dishes that you can take. And I don't know, does that include microwaving? I think that's another question.
Well, you're the one who instituted the ban. What say you?
I believe microwave is in play. I think Eleanor has been banned from the microwave she actually now, as I have a phobia of parking garages and getting stuck in a parking garage, I think Eleanor will always have some small phobia of microwaves. With the ramen cup incident of 2019 still lingering in her. So everybody's got their thing. She is allowed to
muffins on purpose.
Muffins are still good. They're still good. We'll figure out a way to do that. So I think we all feel good about it. I think Sarah's on board.
Wait,
she gets a little more time.
So wait, okay. Before, I think we all feel good about it. Sarah's on board. Is that an accurate depiction of what occurred yesterday, or whenever this ban went into place? Like, does she feel good about it? Okay.
I don't know. I think the one downside is this is a public forum. I think had we kept this all in-house. Yes, but again, there are certain things, and she understands how this whole game works. When stuff happens, the kids and her will both say, is that show worthy? Is that going to make the show? Everybody kind of gets it, and that's part of this job. You got to bring it. And I think we're gonna get through this 2 weeks. We're gonna be fine, and we're gonna move along.
So I've seen a couple of pretty good text messages on the Carbless talking text line. First from Erica. Tausch, get ready. She may ban you from something.
That's a fair point.
No, that's clever.
There's like we always say, there's a risk and reward with all this stuff, right? There's always a risk and reward.
And then Jim on the south side, my wife just asked me if that's all she has to do to get out of cooking. That was a good one. John, there is no downside. Old T has a bunch of quick trip dinners in his future. That's true. Hey, support a great partner.
Let's take home.
Well, and
Pound
the great
that
news,
chicken.
I
that
have
chicken.
to admit, doing it, imposing the ban on a Monday was really smart because what do I tell you guys all the time? You go get that roasted whole chicken yesterday. You got a meal there. Then you shred the rest of the chicken, and you can do it enchiladas.
Enchiladas tonight.
But yesterday was when the ban occurred, so you missed your window on the whole chicken, didn't you?
Gotta wait 7 days to go get your cheap chicken for the enchiladas.
So not the best day. Should have happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
Enchiladas.
The good news
on
is
the
there's
peninsula.
tenders, there's bags of soup, There's so much stuff there. You guys know
That's true. You're very fair. I look forward to you microwaving bags of soup for your dinners moving forward. All right. I am very eager to see how much more feedback we get on the cardless.
Oh, Jana, you little rascal. She's right.
Jana from the top rope.
She just elbowed me and she just bludgeoned me with that one.
Jana in Pittsburgh. Let's keep in mind that Tausch's idea of romance is leaving the house a disaster when his wife returns from a trip, so she knows how much she's needed.
Oh, snap.
That's a bludgeoner. That is a bludgeoner. Yeah. Good stuff,
Oh,
Jana.
my boy.
That's good stuff. Pella Windows! So you can accomplish a lot without banning people. You can accomplish a lot in 6 years. Senate terms. I don't know what else there is, but you can go from changing diapers to dropping off your child at school. Jess, you think you'll have a kid in 6 years? That's another question for another day. You can get a bachelor's and master's degree in 6 years. And you can also take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. A 10-year labor warranty, well, that is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply, but again, 0%. 72 months, which, if my math is correct, is 6 years, which is unheard of in the window game. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
You can continue to send your feedback on the kitchen ban that has been handed down by old T on his wife, Sarah.
Take you
God
6
bless
years
her.
to get out of the doghouse for this one.
Out of doghouse.
So literally you instituted
got plenty of
the
room,
ban.
right? No dog, so we got plenty of room for that.
Again, another good point. So you instituted
Have you
the
seen
ban.
these tents that you can blow up? You literally just take it out, because I'm not a great handy dude when it comes to going camping and glamping. They got these tents that you literally just sit there. I don't know where you get the power from, but just rockets up. It's set up in like 30 seconds.
How did we go from banning Sarah from the stove to not getting a dog to the...
You were talking about dog houses, and I started thinking I could sleep out in a dog house, but I'm like, well, no, I wouldn't sleep in a dog house. I'd sleep in a tent that you could blow up. What do you mean? How do you not know how to get
pretty
from point A
clear
to point B?
Yeah, pretty clear. Connect the dots
Very
there.
clear path.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm going to be banned from talking on the show next by old T. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I would love to play court on Mr. Irrelevant.
What do you mean play court? You want a mock trial?
Yeah, mock trial. Yeah.
Who's on trial for what?
Me.
For being a dumbass?
Yeah, right.
Well, guilty. I solved it.
Yeah. Just start playing back old shows.
Yeah, the evidence is monumentous.
Mr. Irrelevant, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I mess with your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me.
Well, Joshie DiMaggio has just sent us that you can get one of those tents for the low, low bargain price of $399 online. I don't think you're going to need that, though.
No.
She seems very tolerant of you, whether she should be or not.
She gets me. I would agree with that. She understands how I tick.
Well, I look forward to updates on what are Max's specialties. Like what are you making while you've banned your wife from using the oven?
Fish tacos are kind of his specialty, and he makes a great.
Do you want to have Sarah
sauce.
do the tortillas or no?
Well, if there's, I guess you can microwave them. She is not banned from the microwave, so I guess we could look at that. Rice, you can microwave rice pretty easily.
That's true. One last question on this. So when this occurred last night, you mentioned that there oftentimes Max and Eleanor and Sarah will say, "Is that show worthy?" Was there any conversation about this being publicly discussed today?
Oh, she knows.
Or
she knows.
It's just assumed when it comes to the oven-related stuff?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jesse, are you and Becca at the point where you could get away with something like this?
No.
You guys don't have open communication and talk about how stuff is, rolling.
Open public communication, slightly different, but sure.
I have learned, we've been married a minute now. I have learned the proper way to share feedback and more importantly, the improper way to share feedback. And 90 to 95% of the she does 95 to 98% of the cooking, and
so that would be a big blow.
It would be
if
huge.
you had a ban.
Yes, and 90 to 95 of it is absolutely outstanding. And the one occasion a month maybe where
I don't. Let me tell you something. I don't get into that where you start saying, "Hey, this dish sucks." I don't do that. Now, if she says, "This is kind of how we do it here," would you want to make it again? And if we all say no, it's off. Boom. That's it. So there's none of this. We're not going to sit here and coddle, but we're also not going to be disrespectful. It's an open communication.
Yeah,
was this good? Would you want it again? And if the answer is no, just say no.
Everyone is open to different forms of feedback, as our show knows as well as anybody. And I've learned that if I want to share that I think something maybe could use some more or less salt or could use a little more sauce, instead of me offering that, I kind of like let
a little
Becca.
more must.
You ask Mo to
mac
tell
and
her.
cheese, am I right?
Yeah, like
add a little must.
Usually, she will come to that realization on her own, and she will present that, and I'll say, "Yeah, I think I agree with that." Kind of let it run its course that way, rather than being critical myself. Let the conversation come up.
Sure.
Otherwise, if I'm not going to be the one doing a lot of the cooking, I don't think I have a lot of room to do much of the complaining. So I think that's where that stands.
Totally agree. Unless the house is burning down, then I think you can complain. I think that's a fair criticism, right?
Which, to be clear, the house did not burn down. You're still good. You're safe. Did the fire alarm go off, or did she get the?
It did not. It did not.
I feel like I don't want to say that should be a prerequisite to a ban, but no fire alarm, no ban. I might argue.
Well, hey, you know what's great? And Jesse brought this up and hit this well. It's to the eye of the beholder. Everybody's got their own rules. It's like when you're playing different board games. There's house rules,
Euchre.
card games.
Yeah, cribbage.
They all have house rules.
Lumberyard.
Everybody's got their own house rules.
All right. Well, we'll ask Evan Cohen if he offers this type of feedback for his lovely wife on Unsportsmanlike, because he will join us. We'll talk some sports as well.
Did you hear what he said about Tausch the other day on
what?
Jim, Matt, and Molly? Ooh. Maybe I should play this before he gets here so you can mentally prepare.
Yeah, we don't
want
to get to him right at 9:30. He'll be completely stunned that we got to him on time.
That'd be a preposterous thing. So he joins Jim, Matt, and Molly every other week in the afternoon. By the way, Molly Brown back today on Jim, Matt, and Molly after 3 months gone.
Triumphant return. Let's go.
Big day. 4
it's a
o'clock
day that I'm
this
on,
afternoon.
too. I'm very excited that her return coincides with one of my appearances.
So Evan was on with Jim and Matt last week, and they were talking about Badger basketball and kind of the state of Wisconsin athletics. Evan posed the question to Jim, is Wisconsin a football or a basketball school? And at its core, you could have that.
Volleyball school.
You could have
volleyball is kind of taking the reins, as we've said in the last 4 or 5 years.
Women's hockey.
Yeah.
They'd like to have a word, yeah. As
track, except they don't have a facility.
So that conversation on its own is good, but it really took a turn here at Old T's expense.
Uh-oh.
Since Luke Fickell has arrived, it's a basketball school.
Wow.
Actually, since Paul Chris last year.
Do you blame Luke Fickell arriving? Because I think it's something else.
No, it's Paul Chris was part of it.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't think enough people have talked about this.
Okay.
The moment Mark Tauscher joined the broadcast, I thought the football team went downhill. I mean, I think why don't we look at the record of the team since Tausch has been there versus the same amount of years prior and see what the records are? Because I don't think enough people are bringing up that Tausch has brought the program down.
Is that me, or is that just kind of jerk storish? That was kind of jerk storish, wasn't it? And then Jim, and I think, was that Matt, or is it somebody else that, Matt on his hiatus? The fake laughter.
There it is!
It's
back!
That fake laughter is bad. Like, that is bad.
It was for clarification purposes, you have been doing, because there was a 3-man booth for quite a while, you have been on those broadcasts for how long?
It's been a while. I'd say probably 12 years.
Yeah. And now this would be, is this year 3 that you're
I'm
going
2
into, or
years
you're
in.
4?
I'm 2 years in. Yeah.
All right, so your season 3 will launch in late August, early
I thought
September.
The football team went downhill. I thought the football team went downhill.
That God, I love that. No, that I enjoy.
Good laugh.
Great to have her back. All right, we will. Are you so? Given that you are clearly willing to impose rules on your lovely wife, what is your game plan for
really
Evan's appearance?
It's really the only rule. I don't think I have any other. I don't ban her on anything else. That's it.
Does she ban you? I don't want to get into that. What's going to happen next now when Evan Cohen joins us? Like, are you going to
we're going to talk about his Sam Darnold take, and then Jesse. I told Jesse to cut audio. Lord knows if he did or not. From yesterday's ending of his show when Evan made one of the ugliest flexes I've ever heard. Jesse, I don't know if you got it. It was. I texted Evan after. I said, "What the heck are you doing with that?" And we'll make sure we play that and let him defend himself. So those are the two big things that I'm interested in.
Well, we will find out about both of those next. Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, scheduled to appear on Wilde and Tausch.
From the preps
Will Garlock, the two-handed jam.
to the pros,
Dane takes it into the paint, lobs up top. Yes, slams it home.
the biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Spins up with the right hand. It's good. Count it and a foul.
The hoop and the harm.
Goes in right side. Puts it in with 2 seconds to go. What a play. Dribbling, crossing over, fade away. Yes, that was nasty.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one.
Time now for Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. He joins us every week. He and Tausch go back and forth, and apparently there's not beef here, but there's...
Hey, no fighting for me today. I am not in a fighting mood. I am in just a fantastic mood, so no fighting from old T.
All right, there you heard it,
None.
Evan. Is it a
Jason?
safe zone for both of you?
If Tausch sets it up that way, sure. I love Tausch. Everybody should know that. There's little. I mean, you're not supposed to rank people, but I do rank Tausch above everybody else. If we're going to be honest.
I like that.
But,
Thanks,
but
Evan.
below anybody that matters.
Yeah, that's really nice. Evco, I heard this morning, I don't know what that even meant, but again, I'm not fighting today, so I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Schmalls said she's from St. Louis, Illinois, and then
Yeah,
I was
confused by this.
dumbfounded. I heard that. That was my part of your show that I heard today.
Yeah.
Is St. Louis part of Illinois? Am I missing something?
Okay, so let's just rewind for a second. So people who listen on ESPN Wisconsin to our show, first of all, thank you. Second of all, for those that listen somewhat regularly, if I would say, which I know Tausch you do, if I would say, what state is Michelle from, what answer would you give?
Illinois.
Oh, you would give Illinois. Interesting, because I think
Yeah,
most people would
she's
say,
a big Illinois fan, right? That
Right.
was where she went to school. Yeah, but she's a
right,
Cardinals
but I'm
fan.
not
so
from Wisconsin, even though I went to Wisconsin. I'm a Wisconsin
Fair.
fan. But I think
fair.
that most people would say, because her number one sports team by a mile would be the St. Louis Cardinals until she adopted the Packers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that most people would say, if you're a Cardinals fan and you say you're from St. Louis, you're from Missouri. But there is a part of Illinois, the one that's not near you guys, or relatively near you guys, that I guess is like right on the border of St. Louis, unbeknownst to me. I had no idea.
Is this
I mean,
like the
once I
Kansas City,
met her, I knew.
Missouri, Kansas
It's
City,
exactly,
Kansas
yeah, I didn't
thing?
realize it was Kansas City, Kansas, Missouri. I didn't know that.
I think that's what it is. So, and just because everything has to operate based on like random sports facts, what I did when she brought this up, I said, so is it like Darius Miles, who's an old NBA player? And she's like, exactly. Now, that makes no sense to anyone other than Darius Miles was a big-time lottery pick back in the day that was famously from East St. Louis, Illinois. And that was the only time I had heard of something like that, which I was on. It would be like, East Madison, Minnesota. I'm like, what? What are we talking about here? But that's what it is.
That's Hudson. That would be Hudson. Hudson right on the border.
You know who else I thought was from East St. Louis? Former Badgers
Fletch?
running back Terrell Fletcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
that
Real
rings
little
a bell.
hotbed down there. Granite City,
Yeah.
Chris Janik. There are a lot of cats come from that area, as Barry would say.
Interesting.
Hey, get them cats from St. Louis now.
Is that
Was
your
Terrell
Barry?
Fletcher
Scrappy?
ever considered? Was he ever considered better than Brent Moss, or was it always Brent Moss 1, Terrell Fletcher 2?
Ooh, I think
a
Moss
great question,
always.
to be honest.
It is. I think Moss always will get the love, even though I think Fletch was a better all-around back because of his pass catching and the other stuff.
Had a
Who's
good
the
NFL
most
career, too.
underrated? Who's the most underrated back in Badger history?
James White, by far.
Yeah.
James White.
But I
don't think
love
it's close.
James White.
He
But
constantly
well,
got
let me- wait,
overshadowed.
Tausch.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you my argument.
No, but I didn't ask the question properly. Let me just, before you do this, I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Okay.
Most underrated while they were at Wisconsin.
Yeah, James White.
You think
The answer
so?
doesn't
Still?
change.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, yeah, because you had Melvin, you had Monte. I don't think James White – you could make a really good argument that James White had the best NFL career of any Wisconsin running back. Like a really good argument. JT is still chugging along. Melvin Gordon had a really nice career, but James White did some legendary stuff.
Yeah.
So I think James White, most underrated – he not only running back, Evan, I think you make an argument he might be the most underrated cat we've ever had at the University of Wisconsin.
I don't know about that. I still would say I still think Bollinger is insanely underrated. Jason, where are you going on most
Yeah,
underrated running back?
that's exactly who I was going to say. Was Bollinger completely underrated as well?
I think so, Jason, because I mean, Tausch, obviously, you were his teammate. I don't know if you knew him. He was a good quarterback. I know those guys usually dump you.
I just talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I do know him. Yeah.
Right after you got off the phone with Russell Wilson.
I did, yeah. With
Wow,
Brooks.
that's cool. All right, anyway.
It's a former quarterback that, yeah.
Yeah. I'll blow past that because it makes Tausch look good. But I think Bollinger was so good at such an important time, obviously, for the school. Tausch, would you say White is more underrated than Bollinger?
Yes. Bollinger was the winningest quarterback for a long time at the school. He won a Rose Bowl. I don't know how you'd say he's underrated. I don't think Brooks is. I think most of us, you got your guys that are all in on Russ for the 6 months he was here, which is fine. But Brooks Bollinger was a 4-year starter, a lot of wins. Everybody would put him in the top 3 of best quarterbacks at this school. So how's that underrated?
I agree. I'll tell you why I believe that. When you think about when things got great consistently, not got great, like it got great upon Alvarez's arrival, it got great with the 94 Rose Bowl, but when it got great consistently, I feel like most people properly give Ron Dayne that credit, and if Ron Dayne gets 75% of the credit, I think that Bollinger is closer to entirely encapsulating the rest of it, the 25, than divvying it up between the masses. Like, I think he was that. And Mike Samuel was very good, obviously won a Rose Bowl, and Sorgi played in the NFL for a long time, probably longer than Bollinger maybe, even as a backup. I'm not positive on that.
I think so.
But I think that amongst all of the great players that we had during that era that got us great consistently, I think that Bollinger is closer to encapsulating the 25% than he is. I'll give him 10. Give whatchamacallit, Burke, the defensive end, or Wendell Bryant, or any of these great players that were in the mix there. I think it's all revolving around Bollinger.
Yeah, I just think as good as he was as a collegiate quarterback, I think his abilities were underrated, and he was viewed as not as good of a thrower as he actually was. I still remember the scouting combine when he was there and talking to Ken Zampese, who was the quarterbacks coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, it is a great name. I enjoy saying it.
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. Ken Zampese held cigarettes in the booth as an offensive coordinator, as like a nervous tick, had to hold cigarettes in the booth. Did he not?
I can't say that I know Ken Zampese quite that well. I will have to fact check that.
Is it Zampese or Zampanese? Isn't it Zampese?
No, it's Zampese.
No, Zampese.
Okay.
Jason said it right. Jesse, look that up.
I will.
No, he's not going to look at it.
No, I will look it up when Tausch confronts you on your Darnold take, but I just wanted to briefly retell this story.
No, there's no the only confrontation I have is a sweatshirt take, and we'll do that at the end. Okay. But you made I actually, your Sam Darnold take, I think is a really good one. I have said
I know
I'm
that
not a
Jason
Darnold
actually
believer.
told the
I
Brooks
think.
Ballinger story.
No, I
What's
didn't.
that?
Let him tell the story. We'll put 30 seconds on the clock. Then we'll get back to that, and then Jesse will find out about the cigarettes. Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, go ahead, Jason.
Brooks Bollinger at the scouting combine threw with
All right, so Tausch. No, go ahead.
nicely done. With a group of all the top quarterbacks in that class, including Rex Grossman, who was a first-round pick by the Bears. And I remember talking to Ken Zampese as he walked out of the workout and said, Bollinger was the best of the group, and it wasn't close. And he went on to have a very solid NFL career, even though he wasn't necessarily viewed going into that as a big NFL prospect. Now,
All right.
you're saying, speaking of quarterbacks that are great, let's talk about Sam Darnold.
All right, Evco, give us your take on Sam Darnold. But I've been very clear all last season on my thoughts on Sam Darnold. I was wrong until I was right. You believe that the Minnesota Vikings need to move off, give it to JJ, let Sam go. Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, so it's not as much a knock on Darnold as it is just the reality of what the Vikings are presenting. So the Minnesota Vikings have a 22-year-old quarterback who was coached in college by Jim Harbaugh. That 22-year-old quarterback won a national championship while being undefeated at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh. He then is drafted in the top 10 of the NFL draft, but specifically traded up for by a guy in Kevin O'Connell who is looked at as arguably the best QB head coach in the league. And that guy is 22, as I mentioned, makes $4.9 million this year, and is not a rookie. In what world would that not be a great alternative? And, oh, by the way, if you want to hedge your bet and you want to have a veteran alongside of him, how about bringing back the guy you had on your team last year who has more playoff wins in your building than Sam Darnold does? His name is Daniel Jones, who won a game for the Giants at the Vikings in the playoffs. The Minnesota Vikings have a much better chance of competing consistently with the Packers and the Lions with a quarterback on a rookie deal that can play as well as a quarterback on a veteran deal than they do with Sam Darnold, who over the course of his, 6-year career, 5 of them have been years that would either be bad or below average, and the other one is just simply 1 year last year until it mattered the most. That was good.
Yeah, I think the pushback would be the guys in that locker room. And I heard Justin Jefferson say it doesn't matter. He's going to do what he does to make his job easier. That's cute to say in March and in April, but in September and October when things aren't going well, things can turn quickly. When you have a team that was close, and had they been able to beat Detroit and get the 1 seed, who knows what happens? They didn't. They got knocked out, and then now the Darnold questions after those last 2 performances come back. I agree with you, but I think the argument would be this team won 14 blanking games with him at quarterback. You still have JJ. He's coming off an injury. You don't know how good he is. You know how good your team is. You feel like running it back, especially if it's not some huge, cumbersome contract. If he gets a monster deal somewhere, tip the cap and go. If he doesn't, you get him back for 25, like Baker Mayfield deal. I think you have a hard time explaining that to your locker room. That would be the pushback that I think you'd get.
Yeah, you may be right. But I also think that Kevin O'Connell did the same thing with Kirk Cousins as he did with Sam Darnold, that I would assume he could probably do similar things with J.J. McCarthy and or Daniel Jones. You said something, Tausch, that triggered a thought just now. You said, they were close if they beat this, that, the other thing. I think that is such an interesting thing. I recently went on a station that I go on a bunch in Atlantic City, and they cover Philly sports. And he was talking about how Joel Embiid, all these years of being a contender. And I stopped him, and I said, in what world are they a contender? He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, he's never been past the second round. And he said, well, didn't you go into every season thinking they were a contender? I said, okay, so we have to settle on a contender in the moment, but retroactively never a contender. The Vikings, when you say they were close, it's because you felt that way all season. Retroactively, they were never close. They didn't make it past the first round of the playoffs, and they didn't
I
win
don't
their
know
division.
about that. Hey, Evco, listen,
Tausch,
man, everybody's judged on their
results.
playoffs. No, I understand that, but to say You can't poo-poo Minnesota like that. They were the second best team in the regular season for most of the regular season. And had they found a way to beat Detroit, and again, they didn't. Detroit did, but Detroit didn't. So would you say Detroit's a contender? They didn't win a game in the playoffs either.
So no, Tausch, by your logic, the inverse then has to be true. So a team that wasn't as good in the regular season but had a great playoff run is actually not close. So 2 years ago, the Packers were not close.
Oh, I disagree. They were very close.
But you're disagreeing.
I had them in the
You're
fourth quarter.
disagreeing with yourself. You're disagreeing with
I
yourself.
understand. No, it's my favorite.
But I'm saying
person
if you're going to judge it, right? If you're going to say a team that has a great regular season and a poor postseason can still be deemed close, then the inverse has to be true.
Yeah,
2 years ago,
all I would say is
the Packers didn't have a great
I am
regular
on
season.
board.
They had a great postseason.
Yeah, really, in the grand scheme of things,
am I wrong?
Only one team has a great postseason in the grand scheme. That's it. Everybody else fell short.
Right.
So yes, they're contending. I don't think anyone in Green.
That's such an interesting one, Tausch. Again,
What?
let's forget the previous argument, right? Now let's focus on what you just said. Only one team can have a great postseason. Washington this year, the Packers 2 years ago. Felt like great postseasons because you're ahead of schedule. But I understand what you're saying. They didn't win it all, and they didn't get to the Super Bowl.
Meanwhile, it was Ken Zampese's father, Ernie Zampese,
Ernie,
who smoked
my bad.
heavily in the press box, and yet he still lived to be 86, passed away in 2022.
That's okay. I got it wrong, but in general, that's a hell of a job by me. Remembering the cigarette smoke in the offensive coordinator's suite upstairs.
I
didn't realize. I didn't realize you needed so many backpats. I didn't realize you were such a backpack guy.
I'm a big backpack guy. Yeah.
If I may return us back briefly to Sam Darnold, you said, Tausch, he's worth keeping if it's on a reasonable contract. What do we think the market is for him? Like, Evan, have you talked to Schefter or others that have given you a ballpark? Like, do we even have a feel for who's going to be interested and what they're willing to pay?
The Raiders, the Giants,
right?
Pittsburgh,
This is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, so we talked to Adam today, and he said that the Vikings and Darnold are working towards still trying to work this out, but other teams could come in, and he mentioned the Raiders, obviously, as a team. I would think that the market, by logic, has to be below $40 million a year because otherwise, let's just say the Vikings didn't want him in $40 million a year and another team did. Maybe they would have worked out some sort of sign and trade to prevent him from going somewhere else, or because by the team saying we'll pay 40, in a way you eliminate the Vikings and he never gets to the open market. By a team saying we're not going to get to 40, you're now keeping the Vikings alive in the negotiations. Does that make sense? What I just said? I think
it does. Yeah.
So, because Tausch mentioned Baker Mayfield's contract, what he signed with Tampa was 3 years, $100 million. So it's a $33 million average. Are you willing to pay Sam Darnold that based on what you saw from him last season?
$30 million, you said?
$33.33333 million. Yeah.
Yeah, and specifically for the Vikings, Jason, are you saying in general?
In both. I mean, look, if I'm the Vikings, I drafted J.J. McCarthy. I want him to be my quarterback.
Yeah, you got to move on.
That's correct.
I agree with that.
And let's give them credit. The Daniel Jones move, specifically if you bring him back, is very
sneaky smart. Yeah.
It's very smart because they didn't need him last year, but they may need him for part of this year. And it's smart by him because if Kevin O'Connell is his QB whisperer, then you get the touch of Kevin O'Connell. So I don't like Sam Darnold for the Vikings. I don't like him for the Raiders because Sam Darnold's prime would coincide of the prime of Herbert and Mahomes. And so then I'm thinking I'm going to build a team that's better than those guys. That makes no sense. So I either need him to be in a crappy division where he could maybe be one of the best quarterbacks in that division, or I need him to be in a division with older quarterbacks where he maybe becomes one of the younger ones in that division. There's no obvious fit. And I think that maybe you're looking at Pittsburgh as like a desperate fit. I've heard people even mention the Giants, but the idea of him coming back here to New York, I don't think there's an obvious case. And what I think that Sam Darnold should do in reality is if the Vikings at any point say, Sam, we'd love to have you back, 2 years, $60 million all in, okay? He should literally say, what if I took 25? Would you give me 3? He should go lower. He should reverse the negotiations and beg the Vikings to take him back. Because that's where his career has been perfect. It hasn't been perfect anywhere else. By the way, you guys saw that Alan Lazard, Schefter was reporting that the Jets are letting him explore trades?
I have to admit, I saw that tweet and thought, well, that's nice of them. I didn't think that would rise up to Adam's level of breaking news, but he did.
Wait a second. Jason, you just made such a bold statement without intending to do that. You're saying that an Aaron Rodgers hand-picked guy should be so low on the totem pole that Shefty doesn't even bother reporting on it. That's what you just said.
Yeah,
that is what he said.
It is what I said. Yeah. It's
What's
not
the dude out in Seattle? Chucky? What's the guy that's breaking all this news that's fake news?
Corbin Smith.
Corbin. That's a Corbin. Corbin should be breaking that news. Corby. All right, Evco, before we let you go. Brusty's 1 for 1 in news breaking. Looks like he's going to be right.
Has that been confirmed?
No.
It hasn't been confirmed, but it also hasn't been denied. And Mark Murphy
it has not been denied,
danced
which is
very much
kind of
around the question in his column on Saturday. So
all right, Evco, before we let you go, I heard something on the end of Unsportsmanlike yesterday. I think Jesse, the great producer that he is, corralled this audio, and I want you to defend your take. Jesse, roll the tape.
Oscars last night, Adam Sandler's getting a ton of praise from the average everyday person. He wore the hoodie and the shorts to the Oscars. I want the average everyday person to look up the price of the hoodie. I know the brand. I have a lot of it in my home. It ain't that cheap.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
What a flex. What a flex.
Wow. Let's be honest. That came off horribly. That was not the intent that I was trying to get at.
It did.
Okay.
Explain yourself, Evco. That sounded very gated community snooty-ish to me. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But so here's the thing, Tausch, Jason, Jesse, Wilde and Tausch Nation out there.
Yep.
The brand that the Sandman wore is a brand called Aviator Nation. Do I have a lot of it in my home?
We don't like giving. Whoa. We don't like giving out free
That's not ice cream.
Unless it's ice cream. Yeah, it's not ice cream.
Yeah.
So, Aviator something. Okay.
Okay. Do I have a lot of it in my home? I do. Do I have any of it that is mine? I don't, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
None of it is mine.
Okay.
My wife has a tremendous job. My wife likes that brand. And I will randomly pick up my daughter from school, or I'll see my wife, and that brand will be all over the house. I'm like, wow, what is this thing? You guys buy a lot of this stuff. And then I looked up the price, and I said, can we stop buying a lot of this stuff?
Uh-oh.
Wait, no, it's not an Tausch. My wife has a tremendous job, works her butt off, and she's allowed to do whatever the hell she wants to do. Right?
Absolutely.
It's her money.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
$220 for a hoodie?
Oh, snap.
Wow. Kudos to you, Evco. Wow. Good stuff up there. Wow.
My
You're
wife
the Sandman.
My wife has worked for the same company at a really high-level position for 19 years.
Yeah.
She could buy herself a hoodie. Yeah. Again.
You don't have to defend yourself. I just wanted you to explain. Like, the whole thing was funny to me. And kudos to y'all. Well done.
Got to choose between that and eggs.
Oh, burn.
That and eggs.
Burn.
That's Jesse's big line here?
Yeah, it was his close.
Dynamite drop in. Well done.
Yep, that's it.
Wait, you're not going to address – there's another matter at hand you're not going to address?
What is
I was told per sources that you are a little bothered, Tausch, that I when asked about what turned negative around the Wisconsin football program, which we love, that I said, what's the record with Tausch in the boots? I think that's a fair question. What is the record with you in the booth?
I think we're 500 because we were 1 or 2 games over 2 years ago and 1 or 2 games under. So right around 500 is what I think we're like 12-12, something like that.
With the bowl game, you're 1 under.
Oh yeah, the bowl. Well, the bowl game. I don't know if you count that. So,
Not in Russian
I would say a little below. Well, a little below average, Evan, is what I'd say. We're a little below average.
Interesting.
I thought.
Told me.
I thought Tausch was more bothered by the fake laughter than he was about the actual tape.
I didn't mind. Listen, I know you're going to
tape.
take some shots. That's fun. But Jimmy's a stern guy, a radio guy, old cat. And that fake laugh that he sent you, you should be insulted by that laugh.
I thought the football team went down. Jim knows where his bread is buttered.
Yeah, that's true, but that was fake,
I thought the football
and
team
you
went
know
downhill.
it.
Well, you know what's interesting? I heard your little dopey appearance after that, where you started making your Mike and Mike jokes. I heard it. Don't think I didn't hear it. And Mike and Mike were
but I
tremendous.
didn't. They did a great job for a long time, no doubt about it. But I didn't go there. I almost went there, but I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't go there? I literally heard you say that.
I didn't go there. I almost did, but I didn't, which I think was classy. I thought that was classy by me to not do that. So,
I heard you
yourself
say
on
it.
But you're
I didn't know
welcome.
you were a big
I didn't go
backpack
there.
guy.
I
Good
almost
point,
went.
Jason. Yeah, you're a big
Almost.
backpack guy. I didn't know that.
All right. Well,
Hey,
I'm,
I want to Tausch, when we come to Wisconsin for the draft, pick Wisconsin, travel Wisconsin, doing amazing things. What's your pickleball scenario? Because I'd like to play you in pickleball.
Yeah, we will have a game at the Pickler in Green Bay. We just opened about a month ago. You bring a partner, I'll bring a partner, and we will video it, and we'll see who wins.
Too? You own that place?
No, we don't own it, but it's a beautiful spot. We're excited about it. Absolutely.
Wow. Well,
So
I got
if
some
you're
beer.
ready,
Can I get some beer?
are you going to go? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to probably regret it. You bring your producer. I'll bring my producer.
No, I don't. Let me bring someone else.
No, what? Costello? You got Costello or Nuno? I don't care who you pick.
Nuno, I don't see as a big pickleball guy. Maybe he is. I don't know.
What about Smalls?
Why can't I bring
Smalls interested?
CC and Smalls. CC playing right up against that kitchen. You're not getting the ball over him. Let's go.
Okay. Well, be tough to lob Canty. That's for sure.
I'm not afraid.
I'm nervous about hitching my wagon to Jesse. If I'm being honest, Jesse, no offense.
Wait, let's be clear. Jesse, if you play in this game, you don't get an extra off day as a result of it.
Ooh.
Oh, well, you
makes it tough.
Gotta check everything then. Make sure we're good.
keep us posted on the schedule for that. I will
be
there.
What about Wilde? You're going to be there.
He's not ready. He's not
be
ready.
there.
He came. We saw him play. He's not ready yet. He's working towards it.
We played 3 points.
It's ping pong. How hard can it be?
No, I'll be there. I'll be there in the stands in my Aviator Nation relaxed pullover hoodie that I found on Poshmark, pre-owned for $115. Sounds like a pretty good bargain.
That's a pretty good discount.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like that right now, so I can maybe come back and get it after.
Let me tell you
payday.
something. The day I see you drop $115 on a used hoodie, I'll be shocked. No,
Evan, we appreciate
you. Why would you buy a used hoodie? Ugh.
Well, because I'm certainly not buying a new one.
Well, but if you're right, but that's the point. Why would you spend $115 on a used one? You could buy 3 new sweatshirts at regular price for $115.
But they wouldn't be Aviator
but
Nation
they're not
for the brand.
Whatever they're called. Yeah, it's for
Sandler.
The brand. Sandler. No, and Ed, it's not even Sandler. It's Sandman. I've going in probably hooked a little bit down. Yeah,
we have a very close mutual friend, so I mean I could do that.
Yeah.
Bring him in to play pickleball.
That part is true. You guys do.
Tausch and Jesse versus Evan and the Sandman in pickleball at the Pickler.
I'm not. Tausch knows. I'm not kidding. We do have a very close mutual friend. Tausch knows exactly.
No, I totally agree with you. I know who you're talking about. Absolutely. All right, get out of here.
All right.
Good appearance.
All right, see you guys.
Well done.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Pat on the back.
You bet. You got a pat. I didn't realize. You know what I'm starting to notice, and this is not going to make Evan happy. It's not going to make Evan happy. You two are much more similar than I ever imagined. You guys both love to pat yourselves on the back.
Me?
Evan. Yes. Jesse, am I crazy? These two have a lot in common. A lot more than you'd think.
The pat on the, you can't say that I pat myself on the back.
Feels like
love patting yourself.
Feels
on the
like
back.
every week we discover something that we say, "Oh, you guys have that in common." Or,
There is
we're the same in that way.
I don't disagree with your overarching premise. I disagree with your pat on the back premise.
Yeah.
I'm doing a great job today, though. Jesse's the one who pats himself on the back, not me. What, you not even listen to the show?
I'm doing a good job.
I pat myself on the back that it's 10:04 and the 9 o'clock hour still isn't
Well,
over.
I tried 3 times. I tried. I was doing my best.
Yeah. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
I ain't going to be scared to say that this team can make a Final Four.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
This team's good enough. They are.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison weight loss. You know, spring break is coming up. Summer shortly after that. I was up north over the weekend. The lake is starting to thaw, and you start thinking about, it's going to be time to jump in the water. It's going to be time to be sitting out in the sunshine, feeling good, looking good. Make sure you're achieving the weight loss goals you're setting for yourself this year with Madison Weight Loss. It's the program that I experienced for 60 days from the middle of August to the middle of October last year, and I was able to drop 40 pounds, almost a pound a day of unnecessary, unwanted fat simply by changing up my diet. It's the natural, healthy approach to weight loss. It really works. You sustain the lifestyle long-term even after you're done with the 60-day program. I'm still seeing results on a regular basis. Contact the team. Schedule a free consultation to see how they can help you achieve your weight loss goals. You can do it either in person or virtual. Schedule that consultation free at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Summer's coming up. Make sure you're feeling and looking your best this year. Get in touch with the team at Madison Weight Loss. MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A dream scenario. Hunter Wohler, one of 3 Wisconsin Badgers at last weekend's NFL Draft Combine. Muskoge's own making the most during his time in Indy, improving his chances to hear his name on draft day. The Badgers' safety on repping his home state on the big stage. Audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
It's a blessing to be here and be able to represent Wisconsin and all the guys that are there that have come through there that are still there, the coaches that I had. It's a blessing to be in this spot, and you do everything you can to prove the ones that bet on you, prove them right.
Fingers crossed for the hometown kid. The NFL Draft begins April 24th in Green Bay.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
The inaugural Student-Led Wisconsin Sports Business Conference is happening March 6th at the University of Wisconsin. Get ready for speakers from around the sports world, like former ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski, along with NFL executive and former Badgers football star Troy Vincent. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to network and learn from some of the biggest names in the business of sports. Register today at WisconsinSBC.com. That's March 6th at UW-Madison. We'll catch you there.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 17th for Mark Osiki's 7th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes at 8 a.m., then back at the Alliant Energy Center at 2 p.m. for happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions, plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat. To sign up and get more info, go to castingforkids.org. Casting4kids.org.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. So let it get away on the road. But you got no destination.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. We always enjoy our time with him. I would say this. I actually, regardless of how much the outfit cost, as a hoodie and shorts guy, I really enjoyed the Sandman going with that look. It's kind of like going to Steinhoffel's in a hoodie and track pants for a grand opening. Apparently better received than mine.
I feel like more and more. I went to a gala on Friday, and then we have the American Family Children's Hospital gala on Saturday this week. And it's starting to get more and more casual. Not to the degree of the Sandman.
Sure.
And the $300 sweatshirt. But I'm liking the trend. Even though I think some people aren't. I like the trend of not having to be all dolled up and go into these events. Like the one on Friday was a kind of a northern Wisconsin flannel, like that vibe, and had a great time. This one on Saturday will be a little more suit and tie-ish type deal, but they're getting to be less and less that way, more and more themed and more relaxed in the Adam Sandler mold, which I'm a big fan of.
A quick question, since we're already way behind. I don't know. I don't think I have seen you without a hat on since you went into the Packers Hall of Fame. And what was that, 2018?
2019, I think. 2018 or
I'll have to fact check you on that. But bottom line, I don't remember the last time I saw you without a hat. When you go to a gala, are you still rocking the hat, or are you slicking back your hair and looking,
I don't know.
to quote you, dolled up?
I'm guessing it'll be dolled up. Hey, why don't you come to church with me? You'll see me without a hat on all the time. That'd be great.
Well, you and Eleanor have your whole regimen for church, so I don't want to interrupt.
It'd be good for you. We'll get you. We'll get you next
Praise
week.
the Lord. Also, praise Coors Light in Golden, Colorado.
Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978. Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It is only 102 calories. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
If you tuned in and said, hey, I thought these guys talk about the Packers.
Now
You're right. We do, just not yet. That will happen when we kick off the 10 o'clock hour at 10:14 in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Wisconsin Badgers enter the final week of the Big Ten regular season with 2 games remaining. Wednesday night, 12th-ranked Wisconsin in this week's AP poll at Minnesota in the road finale. Saturday at noon, hosting Penn State at the Kohl Center in the home finale. If Wisconsin wins both games, they'll be in a great position to earn the double bye in the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis, earning a top 4 seed for the conference tournament. Wisconsin, Minnesota, 7:30 tip time tomorrow night in Minneapolis. Meanwhile, NBA, the Bucks back in action tonight, visiting the Atlanta Hawks. Tip time at 6:30. Pregame coverage starts at 6 o'clock right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. The Bucks 6.5-point favorites according to ESPN Bet for tonight's contest. You can listen to tonight's game following Jim, Matt, and Molly's special remote broadcast at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, celebrating the return of Molly Brown to Jim, Matt, and Molly after 3 months away. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I've been wanting to get to what Goody said about the wide receiver position. We spent a lot of time talking about Devontae Adams. We talked about the DK Metcalf trade offer that was reportedly on the table. Not sure if it actually was or not at this point. But in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments, you know how we occasionally will delve into 80s catchers? Your shoulder okay there? You good?
Yeah,
Looked like you might have been in some pain there. You all right?
No, I'm good. Thanks for noticing.
Just concerned about your well-being.
Whoa, Nelly!
Probably from patting yourself on the back and stretching all the time like that.
Yeah, maybe.
In the YouTube comments,
Thanks, Kay.
there is... we do our 80s catchers. They are bringing up obscure Packers pass catchers. It's just
Harry
a
Kemp.
long line of names.
Jeff Query.
Jeff Query has been mentioned. Frankie Neal. Corey Bradford. Some might say a MVS clone. Kittrick Taylor, Perry Kemp. Jeff Query appears to be the first one that made the list, though. It was brought on by the Alan Lazard story, which, in case you missed that breaking news from Adam Schefter, the New York Jets have given Alan Lazard permission to seek a trade.
Okay.
So,
when does the UFL season start up?
It's a spring league.
It's got to be probably pretty soon.
Pretty
right?
soon, I think, yeah.
I think they'd have to have games starting here probably end of March.
Michigan Panthers.
Birmingham Stallions.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to get to this because I do think the wide receiver position remains something that I am fascinated by. Where the Packers stand, what are they actually going to do about it? Because the Christian Watson piece with his injury and the Romeo Doubs in the last year of his deal, and you and I both thinking that what went on last season has given them pause on the idea of signing him to an extension. There was a time where maybe we thought that he and Zach Tom were neck and neck for perhaps an extension. Those days are gone. And he still has not crossed the 700-yard Rubicon in a season. So I think we have to be a little bit careful about thinking that Rome is better than Rome actually might be. But he has made some big-time catches during his career. There's no doubt about that. So I want to get into that. Let's get into that after Tausch gets into prize picks, which, oh, by the way, You know, you've been talking about the Doncic trade. Shams with some breaking news this morning that Kyrie Irving's season is over. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, the Mavs. You trade a all-pro superstar, you're going to struggle. Yeah, it's done so for the Mavs. It's unfortunate for Kyrie. Prize Picks, I don't know how to transition to that, but Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. It has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. It's simple, more or less. Start tailing Jesse. Old T's having a rough stretch here. I have the Bucks game, didn't go well. I went with less on Joker. I went with, I think, less on the assist for Giannis. That didn't work. It just been, but it's still super fun. Get in on the action, more than 30 states. Simple to use. All you do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. You combine your favorite basketball players. Baseball season's getting started. You got hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is just heating up on Prize Picks. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI and you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run!
Your game.
We'll get to... Just never know what to expect these days.
You need some help with your Prize Picks tonight, by the way? I'm good on Tuesdays. We got a lot of college basketball action tonight. Is
there Taco Tuesday or not?
Yep, we still got Taco Tuesday action. I can help you out.
E-gaming? Okay. You can do it on some e-gaming?
I'm not as good with the e-game. College basketball, I've got a pretty good read on now.
I'll probably wait to dabble on that Flex Friday. Maybe I'll look at an opt-in on Thursday. I'm going to take tonight. We'll see. Why don't you send me over your thoughts? And you've been hot, so maybe I'll ride your coattails.
I'll help you out. Yeah.
All right.
Teamwork makes the dream work. We'll talk about the Packers wide receiver position next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
She's always putting the needs of others first.
My husband went hunting. I'm texting him because I'm like, well, in case he's like about to get a deer or something.
God, you can call him at that point. Molly.
Except for the occasional sports take she claims to be her own.
The Green Bay Packers have had an easier time replacing MVP Aaron Rodgers than they have replacing Mason Crosby.
Back from giving birth to beautiful twins, ESPN Madison welcomes Molly Brown back to Jim, Matt, and Molly. But it's not like her husband will know.
I get offended when he brings up Kay Adams. I get a little jealous. I get annoyed. I'm like, how can you listen to her show but not mine?
Asking all the important questions.
Do you have tater tots in your pocket? What's up with that?
And helping bring the show back to its gold medal standard.
I don't have high expectations or really any expectations at all.
Don't miss Jim, Matt, and Molly, featuring the return of Molly Brown.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, maybe?
Tuesday on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster? I think so.
Sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're on the Badgers.
Who would have thought after 2 seasons?
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
That Greg Gard would have less of a hot seat than Luke Fickell.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Jesse, you sarcastically pointed out in the rundown that Goody talked a week ago today. Because I would argue that while banning old girl from oven use and $175 sweatshirts is good content, we probably have not covered a lot of the things Goody said last week as much as we would have liked to have. So let's rectify that and hear what he had to say about the wide receiver position, because I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, I think obviously Christian's going to miss some time, probably at the beginning more than likely. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But, yeah, I think, that's going to create opportunities for some guys we have on the roster now that I'm excited for. So we'll kind of see how that shakes out. But we got a long way to go. I mean, we got free agency, the draft, everything coming up.
All right, so first of all, he's going to miss more than the beginning. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I have a hard time picturing him active, and I think Rob Domofsky said this as well, before mid-November. That would appear to be the timeline. Goody did confirm he's had the surgery, so at least he's on the road to recovery. And while we have two experts on the panel when it comes to ACLs, because you and Bulaga both have torn two ACLs during your playing career, I don't think it's unfair to say that your games are different than Christian Watson's game. So I am very curious to see what his road back looks like in terms of regaining his speed and everything else that is part of his game. What I thought was interesting is that opens up opportunities for other guys on the roster. And then we have free agency, the draft, et cetera, afterward, he says that. Do you think there's any chance he's looking at the wide receiver position saying, yeah, I'll just draft the guy and I think we're good?
No.
No chance whatsoever, Homer?
Well, I mean, there's always a chance, but I just think when you've heard him talk all offseason about urgency and how certain groups, it just wasn't good enough, and then you look, I would think you make a really good argument from a disappointment standpoint and maybe which position group didn't grow as much as Goody and LaFleur and everybody had hoped. Wide receiver is either 1 or 1A. You can go D-line, and the D-line, even though they had some sacks. It was not consistent enough with a four-man pressure all season. That's another spot that I'm sure people are looking at. But from the receiver spot, I just don't think you can run it back and tell your rest of your group that you have a sense of urgency. You want all these guys to feel the pressure of, I need to get better. You don't want, and I don't think that this is the case, but you're taking probably your most talented, at least athlete, out of the equation until, depending on who you ask, October, November. You guys are the Twitter docs. I'm not. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. I've seen guys come back in 6 months. I've seen guys take a year. I don't know. But Christian Watson was another level to this offense, and he will be missed if you're going to – I don't know if there's a guy that you could even think about putting in the same spot that's currently on this roster. So – I do think you're going to draft the guy. I think you're going to draft the guy with a high-end speed and have that big play, capabilities that will be in hand. I don't think there's a guy currently that would fit anywhere close to what Christian did. So I just don't envision Brian Gutekunst, when his group gets together to start practicing after the draft, there is not at least two, whether it's a first, second, or third-round pick, and a Devontae or some veteran that is coming in to help the growth of this group. If you run this back with this same group and a sixth-round pick, I will be shocked, because the message that sends is we're good enough and we're expecting this group to go. We hope this group grows, but as the great Ken Rovak always said, hope ain't no strategy. And hope isn't going to provide urgency to a group that did not do enough to help this offense go to the next level, especially at the back end of last season.
So one of the other things Goody subsequently said was to your point just there, and that is that Christian Watson has a pretty specific skill set. And he said, we have other fast guys. Like, Bo Melton's really fast, too. But Bo Melton isn't the same stature as Christian Watson. So do you shop for a Christian, I don't want to call him a clone because there's nobody that's quite like him. It's one of the reasons why I think they're disappointed that it hasn't come together for him, because they see the potential and how big that potential is. But do you draft someone who's similar to him because he's also in the last year of his contract and you don't know what his future holds? Or, like, you can't necessarily draft, say, okay, we need a Christian Watson type. Can you? Or can you?
No. You're obviously looking to fill out your roster, and if the only thing I'm interested in is, can this guy play? You start looking at doing that, and it's like if New England is, they did a job where they had Wes Welker and an Edelman and, Amendola. It's like, well, you can win in a multitude of ways. Christian Watson is one of one when it comes to how he does his business. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. It feels like forever ago, but he's outrunning guys' angles in Philly. He's leaping at Soldier Field with one of the great photo shots of the season that year. He was the youngest, or the last rookie to do what he did was Randy Moss. And I keep coming back to that because you judge young players on what they can be. He's not young anymore. He's growing up, and it's an unfortunate deal that he blew his knee out when he did, and hopefully he's able to come back and showcase himself at the back end of next season. But if you're looking to draft somebody and say, well, we're going to just slot him in here, you go draft a bunch of good players and then you figure it out. I don't care how, you don't want a bunch of 5'6" guys. You don't need a bunch of 6'3" guys. You want to have assigned roles that guys are really good at, and it puts a ton of pressure on a defense. I want somebody that is quick in short spaces, that can get open on option routes. I want guys with burning speed that a safety has to cover and roll coverage to, because that opens up other things. You want to have certain guys, but you don't go looking and chasing, because that's when you end up with guys that can't play and can't do it consistently, and you get one-trick ponies, and eventually that one trick gets used up and you're off of them.
Yeah, but you can win a bunch of Super Bowls like MVS has. All right, there's one other thing Goody said at the Combine about the wide receivers, which makes me wonder if he's just going to draft and develop instead of getting our guy Devontae and righting that wrong that you and I keep talking about over and over and over again. We will hear that comment coming up. Want to remind you, I tell you this all the time, I hope you never have to make the call, because that means you've never been seriously injured in an accident or someone you care about has not been seriously injured in an accident. But if that happens, there's one call to make. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. You can find out more about the firm, about all the great things they do in the community, and all the great lawyers that they have on their team. They will win your case for you. You won't pay until they do. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We'll get to one more question Goody answered about the wide receivers. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Being a kid isn't always easy, and dealing with anxiety, depression, or other mental health challenges can make life overwhelming. At Unity Point Health Meritor, the Child and Adolescent Psychiatry program is here to help. Their expert team provides compassionate, specialized care to support kids and teens on their journey to better mental health. To learn more about children and adolescent psychiatry and explore their resources, visit unitypoint.org/Madison, because no one should struggle alone.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank.
Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday with the Combine done, we'll ask Mel Kiper Jr., who helped himself the most when he joins us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Something else about wide receivers, but I'm not sure that it applies. Remember these years where there's been like 6, 7, 8 wide receivers?
I just want to understand where you're coming from, because you've pulled this audio and it's a week old. Do you think that he's running this thing back without doing anything other than
I think he's going
to maybe sometime?
I think he might. First of all, I don't think the streak of no first-round wide receivers dating back to 2002 and Javon Walker is going to end. I'm looking at Pro Football Focus's big board right now. Couldn't find on short notice our friend Mel Kiper's. I will check that while we hear this audio. But based on this, there's only 4 wide receivers that even have first-round grades. So, unlike past drafts, I'm not sure that it's a great wide receiver draft, at least at the top. But when you hear Goody say this, and you know how he feels about young players, and look, is my bias showing once again? Yeah, I want Davante on the team. Not just because he'd be good for me and for my coverage of the team, but I really do believe, even if it was someone that I didn't like, I mean, maybe not Bill Schrader, but even if it was not somebody that was one of my guys, he fits the suit of exactly what they need. Not a guy that you're committing to be your number one for 4 to 5 years, but a guy that can be that guy, and the other ones can grow into that role and surpass him the way Davante did to Jordy. Okay? But when Goody says something like this about immediate impact of wide receivers, it makes me think that the young man's game general manager might be leaning that direction. Here is what he said in Indy.
We were talking earlier today a little bit about the receiver position and how there was a time it really took receivers a couple years, 2-3 years to get to the point where they were productive for a team. And I think now with the way high school and college football are operating, those guys are coming into our league and making a bigger impact quicker. So there's always subtle changes, and you're always trying to, keep an eye on that. But, for the most part, what it takes to win hasn't changed a lot.
He's right. There was a time when it was very rare for a wide receiver to come in and have a big impact. I remember writing my draft previews year after year and pointing out how unusual that was. But he's right. That's changed. When you hear that, is that just draft doublespeak, or does it make you think, if he thinks guys can have an impact right away, maybe he feels like he doesn't need a veteran guy to step in right now?
No, it's subterfuge. Knowing how Goody operates, I just feel like he's going to make a move. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I could see him doing a multiple of things here. Either going big and getting one of the top free agents or a veteran. I look at it more from the veteran standpoint of bringing somebody into kind of, I don't want to say professionalize, because I think these guys are working hard. I'm not trying to, dismay on these young players, but there comes a point where you got to go. And this whole cute, young guys growing together and all this other stuff. It's over, man. Like, it's time. There's not enough time now to be sitting there saying, well, we'll just hope they keep getting better and better. Yeah, we do, but they got to go. And if you're going to sit here and then you're going to bring another young guy in and they're going to take reps and push, unless it's Randy Moss or someone of that ilk, the dude Smith from Ohio State, I think you need to set a tone. I think Goody knows that he has to do something. I think in an ideal world, he does not want to trade, give up assets, and then go with a monster deal on a guy that's, been a 1A, 1B, like a Metcalf. Maybe that's the road they go down, but I just don't see that being the case. I think this is a veteran 1-2 year guy that comes in, you draft another young guy, and you keep pushing that room forward with some added infantry that will help get this thing going quicker, because if they have a similar year next year where the drop rate is that high and the efficiency of the wide receiver spot is not where it needs to be, you're not helping anybody, but you're really not helping your $55 million a year quarterback and his head coach. And if you think things aren't hot, but things aren't cold, it will heat up. If you see this offense look like it did at the end of last season, you thought that Minnesota game a couple years ago, the old Boo Birds come. Guys are paying a lot of money now to come into that stadium. Can't sell your tickets. People are going to be a lot more short-tempered with their adulation and all the other stuff if this team isn't humming. And I think they know that they need a little sprinkler to get this thing moving.
Mel Kiper, our friend, who rated you as a 6th-round pick, and you allege that you weren't even in his book, and that led to a very funny exchange on voicemail, has only 2 wide receivers in his first round. Egbuka from Ohio State and McMillan from Arizona. So, again, I don't know. He writes here that this isn't a fantastic receiver class, so whether or not that influences Goody as well, I just feel like maybe we are guilty of projecting what we think he should do. I hope I'm wrong, but there is part of me that thinks he's going to say, you know what, we have other places we need to invest. And unless he's getting Devontae Adams for a song, I just think he's reluctant. We'll see. But it's not like there's a bunch of wide receiver options in unrestricted free agency either. So I just find myself wondering if it's going to happen, who exactly it's going to be.
Jason, there's also this little tricky thing called getting under the cap before the league year starts. Going to be a lot more players available than are sitting here right now.
Most teams are under the cap already, though. Like, I think it's only 7 or 8 that are in.
They still have roster bonuses that they don't want to pay.
That's true.
There's gonna be some players that you're gonna be thinking about saying, "Ooh, okay, Aiten." There are gonna be some of them Aitens that we don't know about yet.
Yeah. All right, we need to play trivia. Yep. I
want to play a new game. Eleanor has been doing this yerp or nerp, and I kind of want to bring this, whether should we tag McManus or different Packer players or people we want in.
Hey,
it's yerp.
So right, but what does it mean?
Yes or no?
No, wait. Yerp means yes
simple.
or no.
Yerp is yes and nerp is no.
Yerp is yes. Nerp is no. Do I really have to explain that? Really?
Yeah.
Yerp and yerp. You guys need
an
explanation
the second
on
one sounds
yerp and
just
nerp.
the second. This is why I would say
yerp with an N. With an N sounds like a Y. Really?
You're
okay.
not enunciating.
I must be the worst enunciator this side of the Mississippi. Then.
You might be.
Yerp or yerp. Really?
You did it again.
You guys are idiots. No offense.
As Sydney would say, this guy. You really think you're saying those two words differently? Let's go to the tape.
Yerp and Nierp? Yeah, I think they're different.
That one was different.
That one was better.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I keep forgetting. I gotta dumb some stuff down. I forget sometimes. That's on me.
When he brings out the goofy voice, we know we got to him.
Oh, yeah, it's time to play trivia with a bunch of dummies. Jesse, what's today's trivia category? We're only playing once today.
Yeah, one set of trivia questions today. Traditional trivia, Badgers Trivia Tuesday. We haven't done that in a long time.
True.
Badgers Trivia Tuesday today. The Badgers are 12th in this week's AP poll. How about caller 12?
Sounds great. Caller 12, 844-770-3776. Yerp. 844-770-3776. Yerp.
I hope they get the questions right. I hope they know which phone number to call.
Caller 12 right now plays trivia. And you can answer your questions with Yerp, Yerp, or Derp. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Steinhoffels, make it your own event. Personalized colors, fabrics, and more. Save up to $800 and use Steinhoffels 18-month financing. Only at Steinhoffels. Hunter Wooler, one of 3 Wisconsin Badgers at last weekend's NFL Draft Combine. Muskego Zone making the most during his time in Indy, improving his chances to hear his name on draft day. The Badger's safety on repping his home state on the big stage. Audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
It's a blessing to be here and be able to represent Wisconsin and all the guys that are there that have come through there that are still there, the coaches that I had. It's a blessing to be in this spot, and you do everything you can to prove the ones that bet on you, prove them right.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
They had the worst defense in the league, with Micah Parsons on the field more often than not. The guy played in 13 games, so your defense was terrible with him. If your defense ain't winning with him, we cannot win without him too. I don't see a path where you pay Micah Parsons top of the market money, where the Cowboys can fortify their roster, both sides of the ball, and be competitive.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious.
get plenty to eat, and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I cannot wait till we unveil Yerp and Nerp on Wilde and Tausch. But for now, we're going to play trivia. And we're going to welcome in a first-time contestant. Love it when that happens. Let's welcome in John and Della Field, not to be confused with Della Van, which may or may not be misspelled during the course of the program. John, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, boys. How are we doing?
We are great. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in your first attempt at Wilde and Tausch trivia. I'm just going to assume that I just do trivia all the time now, and if you ever decide to participate, just let me know.
I'm on board. I think that's fun. It's a fun way to do it.
Jesse?
What happened?
I don't know. It's a great question.
What?
It's a great question.
I put a lot of work into these show sheets for you every day, and you don't even pull them up to play trivia anymore.
Yerp. Yerp.
What a dingling.
Starting to
All
hate
right,
this
John,
game.
Question 1 is this. The University of Wisconsin women's basketball team plays Iowa, who I believe they just lost to, in the opening round of the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday night. On which...
Oh, Caitlin Clark. I'm very nervous about that. Is she back playing against us or not?
Caitlin Clark is not on the Iowa Hawks.
I thought she was coming back for the tournament.
He's being a dick. If you're not... Nerp, she's not on the team.
She might be in attendance. It's in Indianapolis.
Okay.
John, let's start over, shall we? The University of Wisconsin women's basketball team plays Iowa in the opening round of the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday night.
Iowa.
On which... Cut his mic, please. On which of Tausch's favorite streaming platforms is the game exclusively televised? Is it on ESPN Plus, Peacock, or Max, immediately followed by the hotel movie?
I'm going to say Peacock.
You would be correct. Yes, old boy. Big fan of Peacock. Question 2.
Imagine
John.
the impact of that answer had Tausch asked that question instead of Jason.
I don't think the impact changes much, quite frankly.
It wouldn't have changed at all. What are you talking about?
Nerp. Question 2.
Love it.
The University of Wisconsin men's basketball team has 2 games left to play in the Big Ten regular season. Which of these teams is not one of the 2 remaining opponents on the Badgers' schedule? Is it Penn State, Northwestern, or Minnesota?
It's Northwestern.
2 for 2. Very, very good.
Killing it.
Winnable games this week for the old squad there.
Question 3, and a chance at a clean sweep, John, is this. The University of Wisconsin women's hockey team is the number 1 seed in the, this is beautiful, the Quick Trip WCHA Final Face-Off Tournament, which takes place this weekend. Which city is home to this year's Quick Trip WCHA Final Face-Off. I can see why you structured these questions the way you did, even though Tausch did not participate in them. John, is it in Columbus, Ohio, Madison, Wisconsin, or Duluth, Minnesota?
Well, since Quick Trip is in Wisconsin, based in La Crosse, I'm going to say Madison.
That's excellent reasoning. Unfortunately, it's inaccurate.
Nope.
I'm laughing at Jesse, not at you getting the question wrong, John. Unfortunately for you, it is in Duluth, Minnesota. Do they have Quick Trips in Duluth? I've never. I have been to Duluth many years ago, but not recently.
I think it's Quick Trip up there. I know it's Quick Star in Iowa.
In Iowa, yes, it is.
I think it's Quick Trip up in Minnesota still.
I know you cross into Hudson, or you cross from Hudson into Minnesota. There's still some Quick Trips, but John, sorry about question 3, but you got the first 2 right. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. I hope you enjoyed your first time playing trivia, and I hope you enjoyed Tausch's contributions to your debut.
It was an epic, awesome thing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for playing. We appreciate you.
I think we can all agree with a big old yerp on that.
That's it for trivia, and look at that. We're almost on time for the start of the 11 o'clock hour.
You're
Please. Patrick, who's patting themselves on the back now? The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by the return of Molly Brown to Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly returns to the show today, and we're celebrating with a special remote broadcast at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly today, starting at 4 o'clock on 100.5 ESPN. The 12th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers, 2 games remaining in the regular season schedule, both winnable, including Wednesday night's road finale on the road against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Tip time tomorrow night is set for 7:30. Then Wisconsin returns home on Saturday for Senior Day, hosting Penn State. If the Badgers win both games, they will be in a prime position to earn a double bye as a top 4 seed in the Big Ten men's basketball tournament, which takes place next week in Indianapolis. Plenty more, including Joe Lenardi's latest bracketology projections. Check it out over at ESPNWisconsin.com. NBA, the Bucks back in action tonight on the road, taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Tip time at 6:30. Pregame coverage starts at 6 o'clock after the return of Molly Brown on Jim, Matt, and Molly right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. ESPN bet lists the Bucks as 6.5-point favorites for tonight's contest.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour begins with some breaking news.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
From the
Domofsky was on it, though.
National Football
Domofsky's
League.
reporting actually made sense, unlike Corby's.
Well, did it, though?
No, it did.
I think he led with the Cowboys weren't planning on re-signing this guy. And that's exactly what happened. Hit the breaking news sounder.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
Adam Schefter reports that the Dallas Cowboys have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $80 million deal that includes a $20 million signing bonus and $58 million guaranteed, with defensive tackle and favorite free agent of Wilde and Tausch, thanks to Rob Domofsky and maybe Todd Archer, Osa Odigizua. Are the Packers going to get him? Nope, they're not.
In fairness, I'm kind of glad that they didn't. I'm sure he's a good player. I have not heard a ton about him, but he fits that mold, young player, ascending,
yep.
Position of need. So I understood where Rob was coming from, but would have really struggled with that name. I think I would have struggled.
Well, luckily we have Hunter, resident. Sorry, I don't want to step on your jokes.
No, there's Hunter. Look at him.
I see Hunter in the background, and I see Ben in the foreground. I love the new reverse cam. What is Ben doing in there?
Meeting.
Looks like he's jotting down some notes. He's journaling.
Is he meeting with anyone in particular? Is there anyone else in the room?
Probably something managerial, if I had to guess.
Well, he is the boss, yeah. And the best part is he's clearly not listening to the show because we're talking about him. I love this new innovation, Jesse. I really do. And Hunter's got a great location at his desk there, so we can check in on him all the time. But Hunter gave us the correct pronunciation of Odigizua, but now we don't have to worry about it. We're donezo.
No, it's kind of it's another player that I think, if you notice what Goody has been doing, this would have been, I'm not saying he would have had the same impact as X.
Right.
Josh Jacobs is a little bit older because of the franchise tag, but
Zadarius Smith-ish.
If Goody is going to dabble, he wants the dabbling to be at a certain age, and he's not afraid to spend. He'll go spend some cash now, but it's got to be in the parameters and the structure how he wants. This young man has just got 4 years, $58 million in guarantee, but $20 million a year for a stud, or a supposed stud defensive tackle. You'll take that all day, and you will love that if he becomes the player that Dallas hopes that he can be. That was one of those guys that made a lot of sense, and when Rob brought that up a couple weeks ago, I think we all were like, I had not heard of him, but that makes sense. Position of need, young player, ascending, and unfortunately that's one that no longer going to be available to the G&G for, to try and improve that front four.
Are we predictable on this show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why?
Rev, which I assume is short for Reverend, T. Laser, in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments.
I got some questions for Rev T. Laser.
I've learned to just not tune into the show until after the first two segments of BS.
Oh, no.
Come on, Rev.
I say no to that.
No way.
How do I spell
I'll tell you what,
near?
I am going to break down some O-line early in the show tomorrow just for Rev. Because I was going to save this, but since Rev, save this for tomorrow's Open, Jesse.
Oh, he won't be listening. It'll be
no, he will.
Join
now
us
we're
tomorrow.
teasing.
This one's for you, Rev.
We're teasing. This is kind of that squeaky wheel gets the grease type deal, though.
Yeah.
I don't love that, but we're going to do it. I think we're missing one spot that I think Green Bay is going to spend in the interior offensive line.
Well, we're teasing for tomorrow.
Wait a minute. All right.
Yeah. You just
gave it away.
Chirping.
That's not a tease. You gave away the position.
Chirp.
You know how to take the reservation. You don't know how to hold the reservation.
Chirpy chirp. I think there's going to be a little dabblage.
Zeitler never got back to me, by the way.
No, that's shocking. Chirpy chirp. That's all I'm saying for tomorrow.
Chirpy chirp. Jamie in Orlando would appreciate it if you'd go back to the reverse cam briefly, because every time he apparently listens audio-ally, and so he jumps onto YouTube to see the cam, and then it's gone. So there is our fearless leader, Ben, working hard at the studio desk. I don't know anything coming across his desk like Tausch had papers coming across his desk yesterday, but there you go, Jamie. How was the cake, by the way? There was cake in the office today
delightful.
to celebrate Molly's triumphant return to the show.
Tausch, you missed it. Cake today. Delicious cake. Very good cake.
Sounds wonderful.
Nothing like cake and coffee at 10 in the morning in the office on a Tuesday.
It's a pretty good little deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rev, we look forward to you tuning in tomorrow for Tausch to reveal what position you'll be surprised that the Packers might spend. I'm going with interior offensive line. That's my prediction. Going out on a creaky limb. All right, for those that are looking for more discussion about this team, I do want to clarify something, because we have a, dare I say, a policy when it comes to mock drafts. Mel Kiper is our friend. We love Mel. He didn't love the criticism that you levied unfairly against him. He said, "Nerp, that's not true." But he's our guy. And everyone and their brother is doing these mock drafts now. And my favorite is the new 7-round mock draft for your team. Everybody, here's the Packers. Here's my latest Packers 7-round mock draft.
Sure.
I'm not. Maybe other people are more qualified than me. That feels to me like filling out an NCAA tournament bracket without watching any basketball all year, because you don't know anything.
You do. That's what you
do, though. Yeah, I watch slightly more than you, but
exclusive.
I only watch games that are on Peacock.
How many games have you been to?
Oh, now I have to attend games?
Well, no, you act like you're watching more Wisconsin hoops than me. Get out of here. You're not. It's just not. There you go. Coors Light there, just for the record.
This negativity's got to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know who is going to be available in the 6th round when the Packers are on the clock, and quite frankly, neither do you. So I don't want to do that. But I do find myself wondering, from a position perspective, given your tease for tomorrow, for now, how do you allocate if he only ends up with 7 picks? He says he wants more. There was a report from Jordan Schultz at your local Starbucks that they might not be able to get anything for Jair, and they're going to cut him. Again, I don't know.
That's kind of what we've said all.
I understand, but I don't know if Goody's ready to give up the ghost on that just yet, because there's no roster bonus that is due to push the timeline for that.
Oh, that makes a difference.
Right?
Okay.
So my question is, if he only has 7 picks and he's not able to add more, and I believe he's projected to add 1 late day 3 compensatory pick, even though they signed 2 guys. I'm curious, Tausch, how do you allocate those 7 picks? Because we're sitting here going, they need help on their offensive line depth. They need help at corner. We think they need another wide receiver, even if they don't sign one, or even if they do, frankly. They need help on their defensive line and defensive end. You don't have a whole lot of picks to replenish your roster with. When you look at Goody's past drafts, he's got a ton of double-digit classes over the last several years. How's he going to address all this if he only adds like 1 more pick?
Free agency and development. There are young players. I think that the Green Bay Packers have been kind of keeping their noses up and trying to smell what's going on in the market in certain spots. And I
like
do
keeping
believe
their
that
eyes peeled, keeping their noses up, same
Whatever.
concept? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
if you want to
clarify.
interrupt me, yes, it's the exact same concept.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
But
Yes.
I feel like there's going to be some veteran help that the Green Bay Packers could utilize on the interior. If the Monks of the world, the Glovers, I'm not going to say Tenuta because he's not here anymore, and Jason decides that he wants to make sure I look like an idiot, which I appreciate, you're going to add a veteran. You're going to add someone there because what you don't want, especially if you only have 7 picks, you don't want to feel like you're chasing. You want to address, and then hope that you can just grab the best football players. That's not how it always works. I'm well aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
But if, let's just say a tight end falls, a Ty Warren, Penn State tight end, who's a stud. If he falls to 23 and you have him ranked top 10, I want you to take him.
Sure.
Even though you have that position, if there's
Ben,
that much value.
Sure.
Huh?
They've got Chipotle Ben, they've got Tucker Kraft, and they've got Luke Musgrave there. Good point.
But my point is what I don't want to have happen is you're unable to get the guys you want, whether it's a wideout or a corner. You know, it's one of these veteran corners. Philly seems to be getting rid of everybody at their corner spot.
Mm-hmm.
I know how Goody has a type, and Goody doesn't want old players.
No, he does not.
He wants it young. He wants that, and that's a wise way to build a football team. But there does come a point where when you're in a playoff game, something happens. I want somebody that I know I can plug in and play. I don't want to have to hope that somebody that's not played hardly at all, that's a rookie, is going to get thrown out there and is going to block Jalen Carter. Because we saw that movie. It's like that Academy Award. Nobody really cared. It didn't work. So here we go. That is just one of those spots. I feel like there's going to be enough veteran available players that you're going to be able to maybe check one of those boxes that you feel like you need, and you feel like you have a need, and you don't have to address immediately.
Yeah, I have a hard time with the idea that Goody will go into this draft with only 7 or 8 picks. I don't know how he's going to conjure those up. I would assume on draft day you'll see him move back, maybe even move back in the first round, which would be a great idea because then it builds the excitement for the 23rd pick, and then he trades back, and then he can build the excitement outside Lambeau Field again when he picks like 29th. But I believe him. You know, we joke about subterfuge and misdirection. I believe him when he says he wants more picks. He is the opposite of F them picks. He is accumulate them picks. So
Yerp them picks. Yerp them
is
picks.
that the proper usage there? Since you're the yerp and yerp expert.
Well, he's emphatically saying yes, which is what yerp is. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I mentioned the mock drafts for this reason. Mel Kiper's most recent mock draft, I believe, Jesse, was pre-combine. I think it's about 7 days old,
yes,
so he's probably got a new one coming out any minute.
Mm-hmm. Released last week, yeah.
So I want to get to who he has going at number 23 to the Packers and see what old T thinks of what his old buddy Mel is currently projecting for the G&G. We'll tell you who it is, especially if you don't have an ESPN Plus subscription, because you don't know. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Well, you know what month it is. Make sure your March is filled with busting brackets, not busting the bank with your energy bill. I'm here to tell you can save money and help save the planet with an easy switch to Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. But when we first started, we weren't exactly sure what to do. That's when we met the great team at Everlight Solar, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
Your husband does not listen to your show?
Yeah, he doesn't listen because he thinks that I'm like a Packers homer, which is so funny because I constantly get accused of not being a Packers homer.
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
No.
He doesn't listen because he doesn't like your sports take.
I know, it's worse.
He doesn't like my sports
But
take.
he actually doesn't like the content.
Yeah.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Madison athletes seeking elite training need to get started today at Total Athlete Performance. TAP is here to serve and educate the serious athlete with their speed, agility, and semi-private training options. Sessions are now available in both Windsor and their TAP facility inside the Verona Athletic Center. Also access remote training anytime, anywhere with the Total Athlete Performance app. Visit tapwisconsin.com for subscriptions, including monthly payment options. That's tapwisconsin.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Just in case Tausch got your hopes up for Tyler Warren, he's projected in Mel Kiper's current mock draft to go 9th to New Orleans. So he'd have to fall precipitously, but he is a good player.
Or Goody would have to move up.
In fairness, I don't want Ty Warren to fall.
No,
I hope
I
he gets picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you saw
Would you trade Musgrave for a 4th right now if you get a 4th for him?
No. I'm not giving up on Luke Musgrave. I mean, we saw
Tucker Kraft's the guy.
He is,
You're not gonna
but
sign both guys.
Right, but you still have control, as they say in baseball, for 2 more years on Musgrave.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
you're going to extend Tucker, but and I don't know what Luke Musgrave's going to do next, but I still am tantalized by his potential. And we saw glimpses of it as a rookie. Obviously, last year was a lost year for him. But I'm not ready to give up on him.
He needs a big year. He needs a big year.
I tend to agree. This is great because I don't know how to pronounce this player's name.
Osa.
No. He's done so. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Mel Kiper mock draft, the Green Bay Packers select Azaria Thomas, cornerback, Florida State. He is 6'2", 198 pounds. And Goody, among the other things he talked about at the Combine, was that he likes big, long corners. Which Jair, he drafted Jair, and Jair is not that, right? He's fast. Eric Stokes was fast. I've had a few people ask me, do you think there's any chance they bring back Stokes on a one-year deal? Yeah, sure. There's a chance. I mean, I look at that as he's a former first-round pick.
Who asked you that? Who was
a couple of people. A couple fans.
Like who?
Colleagues. Other radio programs.
Sure.
The Damn Sports Show with Walter Lukaczynski and Corey Sparks. But I think if they do that, it means that they didn't find other options, if that's fair. But this guy, he's got those measurables. We know Goody likes his measurables. I've got to check his RAS score. I know it'll be significantly higher than Alex Strouf's. But that, if you're drafting for need, that never gets old. If you're drafting for need, which need is a factor. Don't let anybody fool you. It's just how the board worked out. No, sometimes you draft guys that the tiebreaker is need. If this ends up being the pick, and obviously we're still 2 months away from, or a month and a half away from the draft. If this ends up being the pick, this makes perfect sense. Mel's reasoning is perfect. They need help at corner. I don't know how excited people get about this pick, though.
Well, they get excited if he's good. All the other stuff is kind of moot. So the fact that it's a spot that I think we all agree is a need, and you're talking about a guy with the intangible or the tangible numbers to qualify for that, how many guys do people even know? If they're not a Wisconsin or, a big skill position, how many people? Is it sexy to grab a offensive lineman in the first round? No.
Wasn't sexy last year.
If they're good and it works, you're happy. Well, that story is very much unwritten with Jordan Morgan.
Indeed.
Edgerrin Cooper, I think everybody thought great value, and by all accounts, I think it's going to be a great value. So that's why I'm not as mocky on the mock draft as I think most people are. It gives you an idea of where people are falling. And I think
who's good.
There's so many now. The Cooper DeJean was kind of the guy last year, and it turns out, he had a good second half of the season for Philly, and now he's going to be thrust into even a bigger role with some of these other guys that are gone. All you're looking for is good football players. Hopefully they fit into that puzzle when you're putting your roster together, but what I like about what the Gutenator has done is there, in the past, we've been so anti-free agent that you kind of hamstring yourself a little bit with the draft and develop part of your team. What you want to have is you want to have some type of cover so that you aren't in that position to force your hand on a certain position and then that player isn't exactly what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works out beautifully and you get everything. Typically, you don't get everything in life. You have to make there's a little bit of movement, and that's where when you can go, even if it's not the exact guy you want in free agency, if it's a good, solid player that you can count on, it gives you more room to do the right thing more often in the draft. And when you do the right thing more often in the draft, you end up with more good football players. Because I'm certain last year they could have easily looked at the safety position and said, man, we just spent big on Xavier McKinney. We got other guys.
Right.
Smith Jr., we got all these guys that we think can play. Let's not grab Evan Williams. But the value was there, and next thing you know, you have another guy that you feel awesome about, even though you didn't feel pressure to do it. That's the type of situation that you're looking for.
So, from what I could tell from Packers Twitter, the guy that is this year's Cooper DeJean, at least early on, is Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M, defensive end. He had like this insane RAS score. We know Goody, even though he says he doesn't really pay attention to that, I think we feel like he does. And he was like a 9.96 or something crazy, almost a 10. And I'm always
10. 10.
Yep.
Is that a reference?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
You guys haven't watched Varsity Blues?
No,
I don't remember that.
Wow.
The problem.
I'm not sure what you guys do. I know what Jesse does. I don't fully understand.
I don't know. Why has he always got to turn it on?
Football guys. You guys are football guys. It's one of the great football movies. It's 30 years old. What are we doing?
Timely. Can I watch it in a double feature with Dallas?
You know what? I'll watch it tonight.
No, you won't.
All right.
Time permitting.
Anyway, if I may, Shamar Stewart, who is projected as the 16th overall pick to Indianapolis by Mel, he has these crazy numbers for his athleticism. Each of the 3 seasons he spent at Texas A&M, each year he had 1.5 sacks. My question for you is, how perilous is it to draft a guy who's a crazy athlete who managed 4.5 sacks in 3 years, and didn't they kind of do that with their first-round pick 2 years ago in Lucas Van Ness? Oh, big, strong, athletic, not a lot of production, not a lot of production in the
Gary,
NFL
some
either.
would say.
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary had all the tangibles and didn't have as much production that would go with it.
He seems like the guy Packers fans are intrigued by because he does fit the Goody suit.
Always trust.
Bring your own
film.
bewardness.
No, trust the film. Let the combine numbers validate the athleticism that you're looking for, your benchmarks, but trust the film. TTF. Can I be more clear? Can I?
Yep, you can't. You're very clear. It's also clear that the best customer service in the industry goes to Associated Bank. They've got all the awards to prove it, but more importantly, they make sure that they put you first. You've got this. That's what they like to say, with their help at Associated Bank. And whether that's with early pay that gives you access to your direct deposit money 2 days early, that comes in handy, or credit monitor to make sure that your credit score is where you want to be and you're not dealing with fraud or other issues, or maybe it's needing cash and you need to go to the ATM, 30,000 plus ATMs that do not have a fee. All that and Packers checking and Badgers checking and Brewers checking, all available to you as a customer. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I would love to play court on Mr. Irrelevant.
What do you mean play court? You want a mock trial?
Yeah, mock trial. Yeah.
Who's on trial for what?
Me.
For being a dumbass?
Yeah, right.
Well, guilty. I solved it.
Yeah. Just start playing back old shows.
Yeah, the evidence is monumentous.
Mr. Irrelevant, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
An ACL injury can happen in an instant. Be prepared. Know your options, because results matter. Join Dr. Ashish Raval for a free online talk about the Bear implant, a breakthrough in ACL healing that helps you recover faster. This free online talk is Thursday, March 13th at 5:30 p.m. Register now at stoughtonhealth.com and learn how this innovative technology could change the game for ACL injuries. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
We have a trade in the National Football League. It is not our friend Corbin Smith reporting it. It is Adam Schefter. It does not involve the Packers, but it does involve two NFC teams, including one in the division. The Rams are sending veteran offensive lineman Jonah Jackson to the Bears for a 6th-round pick. Ryan Poles really does not care. He's kind of an F them picks guy, isn't he? He trades a lot of picks for players. Seems to enjoy that.
Unless they think they can win right now.
They definitely need help on their offensive line, that's for sure. So we'll see if Jonah.
Well, I'll say this. Packer fans should be happy about that.
Because?
See if you can deductively reason why.
Well, I didn't know there was going to be homework assigned.
Okay, so the Bears are trading a 6th-round pick, which means they're getting an offensive lineman, a veteran offensive lineman, because the Bears are trying to protect Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams won't develop with young offensive linemen that they might draft instead?
No.
Really? I just thought someone said that we're predictable. You guys can't, sometimes it's frustrating And I have to,
You,
back.
on the other hand, are a total peach.
The Rams are.
Thank you.
The
No,
Rams
I
are
couldn't agree more.
selling, and so the Rams aren't players to win the NFC.
Who is the coach of the Chicago Bears? Ben
Matt
Johnson.
Eberflus.
Where did he come from? Detroit. Who is a free agent that he just had that is a veteran offensive lineman that was linked to the Chicago Bears, that is from Wisconsin, that would fit very nicely into G&G, that is now probably not going to go to Chicago?
Wait, who?
Oh, I'm exasperated.
Oh.
Now you know how Sarah feels. I'm curious, was Kevin Zeitler linked to the Bears? Because I didn't see that. That's a key piece of this discussion.
Put your thinking hats on. The guy just had him for a year. He's a great great veteran. You don't think that he would love to have brought him down? He's a free agent. Ben had him up in Detroit. He did a great job. And now they trade for a veteran interior offensive lineman that probably takes him off the table and puts him in play for the G&G. That was that hard for y'all to weave
are
together?
you the only one linking them to the Bears? You didn't give us anyone else that linked them there.
I've said 100 times that's the one thing I'd be worried about. Now, Zeitler could stay with Detroit. I don't know what, he should go chase every last dollar he can get. He's at that point in his career.
Yeah.
But as I was teasing tomorrow's show, I think the G&G are going to be players for an interior veteran offensive lineman. I think that's one of the spots they feel value. They saw how bad things looked when things didn't go right. They're going to let Myers go. They need to solidify. Zeitler would have been a prime candidate to go to Chicago, but then they trade a pick to bring in a veteran, and you guys are acting like I'm speaking gibberish here. That's
again,
disappointing.
for those of you that are not familiar with Kevin Zeitler, he is a free agent. He is also turning 35 years old in 4 days.
Ooh.
Which
happy birthday.
I don't have a problem with that, but I know
Is he a March 8th guy?
March.
He and Ides a March guy?
That's not the Ides.
He was
Is that
born
right?
March 8th, 1990, which makes him even older than Varsity Blues, the classic football film, which was released in 1999.
What do you guys? You guys obviously don't know anything about Varsity Blues. We've seen that movie play before.
Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning,
What
I
a
had breakfast
peach.
at Tracy
What a
Ruckus'
peach
house. His
you
mama
are.
brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
on Wilde and Tausch.
Jonah Jackson.
You guys
is
understand?
scheduled- Hold on.
You guys understand where I'm coming from right now? You guys get it?
I get it.
I don't want to be condescending
Yeah,
or whatnot.
I get
but
it. Yeah.
I do enjoy condescension. I would also like to point out that Jonah Jackson is 7 years younger than Kevin Zeitler, and maybe the Bears want a guy that could be their guy for a while because they're picking up his $17.5 million salary.
Woof.
So they clearly would like someone a little bit younger than our guy Zeitz.
I believe, here's what they do, though. They picked up that Nate dude from Tennessee. Nate Davis.
Dude.
Paid him a bunch.
Last name
Nate
Roberson.
Davis, no, it's Davis.
First name Nate.
And it was a complete bust. Correct me if I'm wrong. Old boy was in Detroit, and I believe the Rams paid him to come out there, gave him a good contract, and he has not lived up to the billing. That's why the Rams. You think the Rams are in the business of getting rid of good interior offensive linemen with a 37?
No,
so
totally
maybe old boy down in Chicago doesn't know how to evaluate talent.
I've lost track of who's
Maybe.
who.
Maybe he can't figure out how to get good offensive linemen.
Is it Poles or Ben Johnson or the player himself?
Poles.
Poles, okay.
It just, the whole thing is fascinating. And, yes, maybe Jonah Jackson will have a great time down in Chicago. Maybe. All I'm saying is Packer fans should be happy with that trade. A, the dude did not perform at a high level in St. Louis / L.A., East Illinois, whatever you want to call it. And now I do believe if the Packers want to take a low risk flyer on a veteran player that you know is still a really good player. He's had a little injuries, no doubt. That opportunity seems to be better today than it was yesterday. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I love the idea. I have a hard time picturing Goody being on board with a guy who's turning 35 on
1 year, $5-6 million a year deal. You have a hard time with that?
How many times has he done that? He did it with Ricky
How many times
Wagner.
you get embarrassed? Hey, how many times you get embarrassed like we saw in the second half?
I hope you're right.
Philly?
I hope you're right because I think it's smart. You and I
smart
still hold veteran players in high regard, but that's not how everybody views it.
I am a go young. Like I think it is the right.
Except
I think Goody's
here.
plan on this stuff. There are exceptions to every rule. Kevin Zeitler is going to be a borderline. I don't know if I'm going to say he's going to be a borderline Hall of Famer. I don't know enough. I know this. His career from a University of Wisconsin O-lineman standpoint, he is one of the best. His career in the NFL is one of the best, especially interior offensive linemen. Kudos to Kevin, and he's kept himself rolling. He is a hard-nosed cat, and I would love for Green Bay to bring him in to finish his career up here, chasing a championship, and whether it's to be a starter or to be one of the guys so we don't see what we saw in Philadelphia. I'm going to promise you this. That ain't happening if Kevin Zeitler's in there. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I do, and I don't want to downgrade Kevin Zeitler because we love him. Wisconsin Lutheran product, University of Wisconsin product. He's been to one Pro Bowl. So I don't know if he's a borderline Hall of Famer.
Same as Rashawn Gary.
But he's a very good player. There's no doubt.
Ask Baltimore how he did, and ask Detroit when he's healthy. Maybe
and
they
Cincinnati,
beat Washington if he's.
And
there's all
Cleveland,
kinds of stuff, right?
And the Giants. He's been a very good player. I just wanted to pull back a little bit from the borderline.
Yeah, I
trip
pulled
to
back.
Kansas.
I didn't say he's a Hall of Famer. I almost said borderline. I pulled back.
But
the dude's a good football player.
No doubt about that. Time now for another Whoa Nelly topic.
Whoa, Nelly!
JJ and Poinette on the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. I figured Tausch was making a Varsity Blues reference, but it wasn't. It was poorly done, so I wasn't sure.
Just wait a second. That was poorly done? A 10! A blanket 10! That was not poorly done, JJ. I'm sorry. I typically like to agree with JJ, but I can't in this case.
Whoa, Nelly!
T. Higgins had the franchise tag placed on him for the second offseason in a row in Cincinnati. What does it mean, Tausch?
It means he's going to be traded for a second or third round pick to, let's say, New England or someone else, and then Cincinnati will use that pick to get a younger wide receiver. They can't pay Jamar Chase $40-some million and an old boy upper 20s and think that that's going to be something feasible with a defense as bad as what they had last year. He will be traded. That's what that means.
Nailed it. Yeah. They're not paying both those guys.
Easy enough. Wanted to make sure.
Is there a chance, and I saw this, and I'd love to cite whoever said it on X yesterday, but
Corbin.
I forget. And I apologize to whomever put that out. Is there a chance that Green Bay swings for the fences, calls Cincinnati and says, we want Jamar Chase? How fun would that be?
I don't think they're trading. I know what you're going to say next. Doncic.
Predictable.
Doncic. I don't
Who
think
says
they trade
no?
Jamar Chase.
This year's first, Romeo Dobbs, and a second next year. But you got to pay Jamar Chase $40.
The Bengals. The Bengals say no.
Probably.
Whoa, Nelly.
What if you throw LVN in there? Nelly. What if you throw LVN in there, too?
So what kind of a trade are you putting together here?
It's a ludicrous one. But it's not that much more ludicrous than thinking we're giving up the 23rd pick for Metcalf. It ain't that much further off.
You're just throwing names into the trade. Why don't you include Jair, too?
Because Jair's
throw him in.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
He'd be good in Cincy.
I would love to see
that whole
the
deal.
Tausch trade machine. I think we need to
You don't
put
want to
that
know
on
what
the
goes
to-do
on up
list.
here. You don't want to know what goes on up here. But all I'm saying is Jamar Chase ain't going anywhere. I agree with you guys. But Doncic, nobody thought he was going. Now the Lakers are probably going to win a championship because they did it. Let's just ask. Would you be all right paying him $40 million and bringing him in as the number one wideout? I would.
Yeah, and guess who else would be willing to pay him as the number one wideout?
Barry Bonds.
Cincinnati.
Well, they
all right,
haven't
Jesse,
figured it
one
out
more.
yet.
Whoa, Nelly!
Hey, haven't figured it out yet.
Former NFL head coach Jimmy Johnson announced his retirement from the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show.
Didn't they say after they did that 5-minute AI-generated retrospective that he was not retiring? Isn't that what they said right after the Super Bowl? No, we just did this. He's not retiring, and now he's retiring.
Maybe he got retired.
I was driving home after the Super Bowl. I don't know what happened afterward. I do know that he announced his retirement yesterday.
He did.
Which opens up a spot, Tausch, for Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers to go into the studio.
Yeah, Terry needs to be next. Terry needs to be next. And Tom needs to go into the studio. And Olsen needs to come back and do his thing.
Give him one of these. Give him one of these. Wait, over here. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on home, Greg.
And then you want
come on home to the number one booth.
Do you want Menifee, Brady, Gronk, and Aaron Rodgers in the studio as your pregame show on Sundays?
I think Strahan's still good. I think you keep Mike.
Howie?
I think Howie and Terry, it's time. They had a great run. These jobs aren't meant to be 30-year jobs. They're not. Let's get to the new era. It's new. Terry should have been done a couple years ago, if we're just being honest. That's what should have happened.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's time to move along. Let's get some young blood in there.
Yep. I don't think Howie needs to go, but I would like to see new blood from a retired quarterback. Do we think Fox would put Aaron Rodgers on their pregame show?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
Well, he'll be busy playing quarterback for the Giants, but eventually.
Yeah, but I believe he said that that's not the road he's going down.
Yeah, I do remember the year after you guys won the Super Bowl and then didn't get back, he was on, I think, NBC's broadcast, and he was really good. It came very naturally to him, but I don't think that's where he's headed either. All right, that's it for Wonelli. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
From the preps
Will Garlock, the two-handed jam.
to the pros,
Dane takes it into the paint, lobs up top. Giannis slams it home.
the biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and summer is coming, which means it's time to start thinking about a summer job, perhaps. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions. A lot of good ones to choose from, including day camp and youth program leaders, outdoor adventure staff, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors, my personal favorite, officials, and a whole lot more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. So whether you're a college student looking for some summer work, if you're someone who's just looking to make some extra cash during the summer, there are plenty of opportunities available with Madison School and Community Recreation, whatever best fits your schedule and your skill set. Again, full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, your schedule, your location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org. Again, that's mscr.org.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show, talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. A dream scenario. Hunter Wohler, one of 3 Wisconsin Badgers at last weekend's NFL Draft Combine. Muskoge's own making the most during his time in Indy. The Badgers' safety on repping his home state on the big stage. Audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
It's a blessing to be here and be able to represent Wisconsin and all the guys that are there, that have come through there, that are still there, the coaches that I had. It's a blessing to be in this spot, and you do everything you can to prove the ones that bet on you, prove them right.
Fingers crossed for the hometown kid. The NFL Draft begins April 24th in Green Bay.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I say, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back from around the way. It seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you.
So I don't know how these teases work anymore, because I have a question. Do I tease it for tomorrow? Maybe I trial balloon it like Mark Murphy does for the commissioner, and then if Tausch is interested in my question, instead of doing it at the start of a show and then finding out, yep, I'm not interested, maybe I should do it now in the final minutes. We are rearranging our basement, and we've got Pop-A-Shot, skee ball from Steinhoffel's, foosball, air hockey. If you have to choose a rec room game, what is your... Oh, and ping pong. We're putting the ping pong table.
Bubble hockey. Bubble hockey. You have that?
Okay, so, again, are you answering it now so you don't have to answer tomorrow, or did you think it was a worthwhile topic for tomorrow?
Add that in, because bubble hockey to me is the best of that.
So I looked into bubble hockey. There are some very expensive tables. I'm looking for one that's a little more.
How many people just have bubble hockey at their house? Like, all these other ones are kind of...
How many people have 7 games like Wilde does?
Not many.
And a gymnastics meet.
Yeah, the gymnastics arena is being shrunk because the girls' skills have moved up to a level that we can't really do a lot of it in the basement anymore. So we're renovating the space.
What a humble.
They're 15 and soon to be 14. They're not 3 and 4
very humble
anymore.
braggish. Very humble brag.
Yes, and I
Nothing
also
wrong.
pat
Hey,
myself on the back a
it.
lot.
There
Yep.
you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ping pong is my choice.
God, I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Can't wait. Very excited. After hearing dozens of Tausch impressions, that Billy Bob impression is comparatively Oscar-worthy. Billy
Thank you,
Bob
Matt.
is the
Matt's
kid.
right.
Is the kid in Varsity Blues that says this?
He's the big, heavy-set fella that's the old lineman. Had some concussion issues. Some stuff.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Typecast. All right, that's it for us today. We will do it again tomorrow, live from the Pella Experience Center. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care.
Good
Be
job
good.
today, Bud Kilmer.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial free.